Hi everybody, welcome to another video where I'm going to show you some Beatles finds that I've gotten recently. And the first thing I want to start with is a gift that I received. And on my last video, one of the last videos where I was showing stuff, I said I'm not going to say the person's name anymore who sent me a gift, although I appreciate it. But you know what? Screw that. I'm telling you who it is. Enough is enough with that crap. So this is a wonderful gift sent to me by Karen. And thank you so much, Karen. This is a wonderful puzzle. It's a jigsaw puzzle. And I don't want to get glare on here, so I'm trying to turn it on an angle. And she was so sweet as to send me this. And she really likes my channel. And I'm going to hang this. And always going to think of you, Karen, anytime that I look at this. And always remember how much you appreciate what I do. Because it's such a nice letter that you sent me also, and I'm going to send you a letter in return. So it's a very special piece, Karen. It means a lot to me, more than you can know. So thank you, Karen, for that. Next up, I'm going to show a 45 that I got. This is a Canadian 45 from Canada, capital of Canada. Now, it's Love Me Do with the swirl label, and it's P.S. I Love You on the other side. But what I was really amazed about when I played this, I didn't realize, I sampled this, it's the version of Love Me Do that has Ringo on the drums, which is pretty refreshing. I didn't know. It's the version that was the single in the original UK edition. So it's so nice to have a Ringo version on here. And that made it all the more special. I mean, I would have gotten it even if it was just the more familiar Andy White version with Ringo playing tambourine. But good to have Ringo on drums. Now, let's see here. I'm going to show a couple of vinyl LPs. And this one here is called Sing a Song with the Beatles. And I've seen other people showing this album, and I really love the cover. The cover itself is worth the price, as far as I'm concerned. That is a gorgeous cover. And I cleaned it up a bit. It was a little scuffy when I got it. This is basically almost like a karaoke type of deal, you know, sing along with, and it has the lyrics, so you could sing along with the words, you know, to the music. Okay, so that's one. And a lot of people, I should show the vinyl more often, because a lot of people want to see what the vinyl looks like, so I shall do that. There's the vinyl, there's the label. Tower Records. Sound familiar? Okay. Okay, next up we have something that I was very interested in seeing. I didn't even know this existed. Found this at my flea market. The Beatles' greatest hits played by Santo and Johnny, of all people. So this was a lot of fun. I played this. A couple of songs on here, by the way, that are not Beatles songs, and I always like this here, getting a chance to actually see, you know, pictures of the Beatles on one of these albums. Canadian American Records, 1964. Something called the Beatle Blues, and something on here called the Beatles Stomp. And there's the label here. Canadian American. You know, I'm very big on these kind of records. I love collecting kind of like souvenirs of the time when the Beatles were really popular in the 60s, especially the earlier days, 64, you know, 65. So many people put out Beatles related kind of material just to kind of, you know, ride the wave of Beatles popularity that was going on. All right, now I'm going to get to what I will call the meat and potatoes, in a way, of this particular video. There's a whole stack of solo Beatles music books that I got. And some of them have pretty cool pictures in here, and I'm going to show you what I managed to find, okay? So, we're going to start with Band on the Run. Paul McCartney, the music book. Got the song titles back there. There are some really cool pictures to be found in here. For those of you that have the patience, I will show you a bunch in the rest of this video. So relax. If you like seeing solo Beatles photos, you come to the right place. Certain photos I'm going to just stop on. You know, I'm not really that sure as I go along with this video how much of this stuff has appeared in the Paul McCartney Archives series. I mean, I have some of the archives. I have Band on the Run, but I don't remember if these photos are reprinted or represented in there. I don't know. And you're going to see some other Paul books here too, where I'm going to ask the same question. I mean, here's one of the concerts where Ringo made an appearance, and by the way, as I show this, it's Ringo's 78th birthday today. Ringo was 78. Happy birthday to Ringo. And in this particular picture here, I think you'd say that Ringo there at age, I guess somewhere around 36, doesn't look as good as he does now even. He looks better in his 70s, I think. I'm amazed at how many pictures there are of Paul here with the mustache. Some of these books don't have as many photos. This one has a lot of photos. And I won't go through every single photo in every single book, but I'm going to give you a taste. Just very nice, you know. Very nice presentation, this particular one here. Okay, that's the first one. Now, here we have Ram. And by the way, I just realized when I showed this, I said Ringo was 36 in that particular picture. I was thinking of Wings Over America. I don't know if that... Ringo was probably younger than 36 in that picture, so scrap that. Probably like 34, 30, 33, 34. So anyway, let's go on to the Ram book. Now again, I have the Deluxe Archives Ram edition, but I can't for the life of me remember everything that was in there. So I don't know if this has been shown in there or not. It's a favorite by many. There's going to be a lot I'm going to show here. There's the Ram symbol. Photography of Linda McCartney. I've always liked this picture. It's one of my favorite pictures from this era of Paul. And again, apologies, don't know how much of this stuff has been out there. A lot of these pictures are striking me as rather familiar, but some are not. And I like that picture there with his daughter Mary, I guess, coming out of his coat. Okay. A lot of nice photos here. I know a lot of you all saying, but Joe, we've already seen these. These are in the McCartney Deluxe editions, and I don't even remember. So many good pictures. And, you know, Ram happens to be, at least for now, my favorite Paul McCartney album. Okay, here's a couple of more shots. I can see this is going to be a lengthy video. Pictures of Paul in the studio. There's so many good photos. I can't show all of them, but I mean, so many good photos that I really don't want to pass any of them up. But this particular book has so many good shots. And yes, in case you haven't noticed, it also has the music. You know, the music in here if you want to play the music. Of course, they're music books after all. Oof. I've seen people with that T-shirt. There's a lot of people with that concert T-shirt of Paul with that photo. Okay. I don't know. I can't show everything. It's just beautiful. You get the picture, right? Okay. All right. Next one. We're still with Paul here. We're going to show this one, which is Wings Over America, the live book. It's weird. This has a flap here that kind of closes in there. Okay. Lots of pictures here for sure. I mean, where do you stop, and where do you start, or vice versa? I like the more interesting shots. Notice that my battery was not charged when I made this video. When I started this camera, so it's only a little bit of juice left on the battery. Oh man, hope I can really get through this video. So we're gonna have to speed it up a little bit, but just really nice, really beautiful. Last photo from this one. Okay, now we got All the Best from Paul. And there are so many photos in here, I don't even know, again, where to begin. This is Paul as he's getting into his 40s, mid-40s, right? Mid to late 40s. There's a lot of photos in here. Let me just get a few here to sample. Wow, a lot of good photos. Paul started to let his hair go gray. Not for very long, though. This is the first time you really got a really good look at his gray hair. I mean, he was going gray around the time of the Press to Play album, right? Okay, finally, I'll show this picture. Okay. Speaking of Press to Play, I have a Press to Play book here, too. You want to learn the songs that are here. I want to see how many photos there are. I don't know if there are a lot of photos in this one. You know, of course, I don't have to tell you, you can pause. You know, you can pause this if you want to see the pictures for longer. Well, fortunately, as we get to the end of these ones I'm going to show you, the amount of photos seems to dwindle a little bit. So there won't be as many to show as we get to the end. All right, so one more. Well, that's a nice picture. Look at that. Okay, now we're done with Paul. We're going to go into John. And starting with this Walls and Bridges book of songs. Always like these photos of John through this era. Of course, the famous New York City shot. We miss you, John. Definitely. John with Elton John on top. Okay. Now we're getting, I think we're getting less photos, but I'm not sure. Let's do this one next. John Lennon, Rock and Roll. What's interesting is there are a lot of original stars there, including John. You have some of the stars he admired, and I guess sang on this album. You see John himself up there too. Yeah, this is pretty cool the way this is arranged. Like, Lee Dorsey. You have the artists. The song "Ya Ya" is Lee Dorsey's, and so on. So you get to see a lot of the artists. Buddy Holly, Sam Cooke, two of the greats in my book. Don't want to leave anybody out, but we don't have a lot of time. Bobby Freeman, Fats Domino, Chuck Berry. Look at that, Chuck Berry, and then a shot of John from his youth with Chuck Berry. It's very nice the way they put that together. And Little Richard. And let's see. It's funny, if you look, there's a picture here of Gene Vincent, but also a picture of John Lennon here, and his writing down there, what John wrote himself. It says, This is the day I met Paul. Also, the first time I sang Bebopalula on stage. So that's what he wrote next to that picture. Very nice presentation, this book. Very nice. Okay, we're getting to the end. So here's one that I thought, wow, this is amazing. Sometime in New York City, actually having a songbook for that, which I thought was kind of unusual. But there's no real pictures here of John and Yoko. There's drawings. And I won't show all of them, but that's the general idea behind it. There's one for Cold Turkey. You get the idea that there are drawings here. Here's for the song that one that I really like. I think it's New York City. No, it's from Luck of the Irish. Here's Luck of the Irish. This is the picture that goes with Luck of the Irish. 42nd Street in New York. Okay, now the last, I have one by Ringo. I have 3 left. Here's one by Ringo. It's the self-titled Ringo album. And today again is Ringo's birthday. Happy 78th birthday to Ringo. And the only thing is, the inside of these are very plain. If you have the original Ringo album, and you have the booklet that goes in here, well, this follows the same thing, really, where it's kind of like, drawings. If you have the Ringo book with the Ringo album, it's really the same pictures in there. So this is really not anything different. It would be nice to have some actual photos of Ringo, but no. Okay, and last we have George. I'm going to start with this sheet music just for the song Got My Mind Set on You. It's just the one song. And there are no photos, just the music. And lastly, I have All Things Must Pass by George. Nice to have, but kind of disappointing in that there really isn't anything inside by way of photos or anything. It's just a standard music book. But I'm glad I got this done before my battery gave out. I really hope you enjoyed these. I know I did. And I am happy to share them with all of you. So all of you out there. So take care.